sentenced them to serve jail terms of 2 years. The court had 10 cases of gross violations, including murder, adultery, breach of trust, and attempted murder. The mobile court also demoted one SSPDF officer from the rank of captain to sergeant for breaching military command. While reading the verdicts, in Tori, the president of the court, Brigadier General Tonkamis, said 4 soldiers were convicted for grave violations. Meanwhile, Major General Angom Uktom Chut, the SSPDF's Division 7 commander, said the army is committed to holding soldiers accountable and urged them to desist from unlawful acts. Turkey's Interior Minister, Süleyman Soylu, has accused the Kurdistan Workers' Party (PKK) of responsibility for a bombing in a busy Istanbul street that killed 6 people and wounded scores, saying a suspect has been arrested. According to report, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan landed in the Indonesian resort island of Bali for a G20 summit of the world's leading economies shortly after his government accused the PKK of being behind Sunday's blast, which wounded 81. Erdogan had called the bombing a vile attack before leaving for the summit. Information has it that no individual or group has claimed the attack of the explosion that tore through Istiklal Street, a popular shopping destination for locals and tourists. The minister said in a statement that a suspect was arrested by the early hours of today, adding that findings had revealed that the PKK terrorist organization is responsible for the attack. The PKK, blacklisted as a terrorist group by Ankara, as well as its Western allies, has kept up a deadly insurgency for Kurdish self-rule in southeastern Turkey since the 1980s. This is The World at Noon, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now, amid news message. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Slovenia has elected a lawyer linked to former U.S. First Lady Melania Trump as its first ever female head of state. She defeated former Foreign Minister Anza Loga, a veteran of conservative politics. Park Musa is a journalist and lawyer who ran as an independent with the backing of Slovenia's center-left government. The Election Commission said Ms. Musa won almost 54% of the vote, ahead of Mr. Loga, who just got over 46%, while turnout among the population of around 2 million was 49.9%. Ms. Park Musa said after her victory that Slovenia has elected a president who believes in the European Union and the democratic values on which the EU was founded. She noted that the world is facing tough times because of climate change. According to her, young people are now putting the responsibility on their political shoulders to take care of the planet so that next generation, the children, will live in a healthy and clean environment. The French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin and British counterpart Sola Braverman have announced that both countries have signed a new agreement to work together to stop migrants crossing the Channel to England in small boats, which is a source of huge bilateral tension. The ministers revealed that the deal signed in Paris will see Britain pay France 72.2 million euros in 2022 to 2023 so that French authorities can increase by 40% the numbers of its security forces patrolling French northern beaches. Ukrainian President Mr. Zelensky has accused Russian soldiers of committing hundreds of war crimes in the Eastern European country's Kherson region, which Kiev forces last week recovered from its retreating occupiers. It will recall that Russia had last week ordered its troops to leave Kherson under pressure of Ukraine's counter-offensive that has recaptured thousands of miles of territory previously seized by Moscow amidst its nearly 9-month-long war. Kherson, which Russia had captured early in its invasion, is also one of 4 regions that Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that he had formally annexed in early October. Zelensky in his address disclosed that in the absence of Russian forces, investigators have documented more than 400 war crimes committed by Kremlin troops. The president said the bodies of both civilians and military personnel have been found in Kherson. And here again are the highlights of the world at noon. In Nigeria, the outrage over partial salary paid by the federal government has taken a new turn as the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has reportedly finalized plans for a one-day nationwide protest. The Army's Special General Mobile Court Martial sitting in Torit in eastern Equatorial State has convicted 4 SSPDF soldiers of various crimes and sentenced them to serve jail terms of 2 years. Elected a lawyer linked to former U.S. First Lady Melania Trump as its first ever female head of state. That was the one edited by Nathaniel Oyegoke and delivered by Titi Lokwe Ajiboye. News Talk written by veteran journalist Adeyeye Oyedokun chronicles the unity and understanding that reigned among Yoruba leaders since the onset while bemoans the division that has penetrated their oneness in the recent times.
History will never forget Yoruba leaders, dead or alive, who stood for the Yoruba interest in national politics. No wonder the Afenifere socio-cultural political group was formed decades ago. The first leader of the group was late Pa Adekunle Ajasin, one-time governor of Ondo State. He died in 1997. After him was Senator Abraham Adesanya, who took over as leader. He is also dead. How they formed the Afenifere group is unknown to many Yorubas. Many Yorubas do not even know the content of the constitution of the group. But because of the character, integrity, credibility, and predictability, it was not difficult for the Yorubas to follow them and what they stand for. A good name, an adage says, is better than gold and riches. Whatever those Yoruba leaders said was from deep thought for the interest of the Yorubas home and abroad. It is on record that the leadership of the Afenifere group stood in oneness to oppose the annulment of the June 12, 1993 election, which was adjudged to have been won by late Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. However, just a few weeks ago, the acting leader of Afenifere, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, was widely reported in the newspapers and social media as saying that the group had decided to support the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. Chief Ayo Adebanjo explained that the support for Obi was in the spirit of equity and inclusiveness, adding that Yoruba had taken the first turn of the zonal arrangement in 1999, which led to the emergence of former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. Days after, a former secretary to the government of the Federation, Chief Olufalai, who is also a chieftain of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Political Group, denied the adoption of Peter Obi candidature ahead of the 2023 election. Also recently, another leader of the group, Pa Cheriben Fastoranti, in a meeting in his Akure home said the group had not adopted Peter Obi but Senator Bola Tinubu. From the above standpoint of those leaders, the question now is, what direction is the group leading the Yorubas in the current national politics? Having said that, top Afenifere leaders must meet quickly so as not to allow cracks to surface in the group. Above all, we should remind ourselves of a song by late Shibat Ogunde, Yoruba Think, that is Yoruba Ronu, so that they will not become a ball being tossed here and there. The spirit that led to the formation of the Afenifere group must be kept alive for the next generation to imbibe.
The News Talk implored the Yoruba people to guide against any action and inaction that can cause division among them. The piece, written by veteran journalist Adeyeye Oyedokun, was read by Olushayo Babatunde. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening to The World at Noon. Good afternoon.
It's entertaining, it's educating, really informative, quantitative news as it breaks. It's OSBC Radio 2, 104.5 FM. Numero uno south of the Sahara, voice of the West.
I'm your soul, put the tools in the I'm like this to your nigga, that's my good on me, oh yeah, my share. You finish in your job, I want to know or do you mean your shine for ain't there like a I just wanna let you know, baby, I be so cool. Alele onile, come to mommy. Obi dono, nínú orin, nínú èdè, nínú àṣà, nínú ìwà. Àfipá wọn jọ, tẹ̀bá lọ pẹ́pẹ́. Ẹ má jẹ́ pàǹgẹ́rẹ́, tọ́ba bí mi lèrè máa rí wí. Máa rí sọ, you want me to tell you how I struggle for the jungle. Ọmọ mo lẹ́nu, mo lẹ́nu, mo lẹ́nu. Ọmọ mo lẹ́nu, ask my fellow disciple. Let out alone, let out fun, let out strong. I've been in a game that we playing, and I've seen much more than what you're facing.